everybody. Welcome to Learning the Scottish Great Highland Bagpipe with me, J.D. Ingram, pipe major of the Charleston Pipe Band. This week we're going to be learning
Lesson 25, Johnnie Scobie, also known as Will You Away to Abide Away. Your goal is to be able to play the entirety of the tune Johnnie Scobie at a steady tempo and with correct use of embellishments. We'll focus on good execution and expression, and we'll try playing a full set of music. Your homework is to memorize Johnnie Scobie. Extra resources can be found in Sandy Jones' Beginning the Bagpipe, page 39. All right, here we go. One more new tune for you. Let's go over the checklist. What is the time signature? What is the idiom or tempo? Where in the tune is there a risk for a crossing noise? Where are the embellishments I need to watch out for? And what is the roadmap? This tune is another classic 4/4 march. It is a little bit different than the others we've learned, as it is only one single part of music repeated twice instead of the other 4/4s, which typically are, lines 1, 2, and 4 are pretty similar, but there's a line 3 that's different. This tune has another name. It is sometimes known as Will You Awa to Abide Awa, or Will You Go When You Stay Away. It is a traditional dockside farewell tune, sometimes a drinking song, but it's a fun little tune, so let's dig into it. Here's the sheet music for Johnnie Scobie. This is taken right out of Sandy Jones' book. I know in different settings of the book, I believe there's a couple different things, and I know I have maybe edited this one a little bit, so the thing to watch out for that might be different in yours is looking at the first bar of the second line. I believe that's where most of the adjustments are made from one setting to another, but this is the setting I am using.
All right, Johnnie Scobie. So this is another tune like the Rowan Tree with a 1-beat pickup. If you're starting a set with it, be aware of that quick intro, or if you're coming out of another tune, remember that first low A and B takes 1 beat away from the note, or the last note of the tune before it. I'm going to clap along to it with the metronome at 78. So here we go. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Ba do dee da dum be dum be, brum ba dum be dum dee dum be, do dum ba dee do dee da dee dum be do and then that repeats. But that's all the music, so that's nice and short. Next, we'll look at the tough spots.
Highlighting the crossing noise risk spots in the tune. This tune doesn't have a lot. We've got a C to E in the first line and a D to F in the second line. So make sure those are clean. Everything else is fairly straightforward as far as a crossing noise risk, or it is covered up by an embellishment. So we'll go over that next.
All right, for crossing noises, we've only got 2 spots that I've highlighted to worry about. We've got the C doubling to E. Make sure to lift before you drop, or you get that heavy crossing noise. And that comes, if you want to play it in context, that comes after a low A. And then in line 2, we've got the D throw to F. And if you want to play it in context, and again, we are lifting before we are dropping. And that's another spot you could also argue is a intermediate crossing noise possibility. Right? So you want to make sure you lift with the middle finger more than the ring finger. And then drop later. A lot of things to think about, but it's worth it because crossing noises are awful. Next up, we'll look at the embellishments.
The embellishment roadmap for the tune. You'll notice we've got a grip that starts off the tune and another grip. These are the red stars that is about halfway through the first line, and another grip that almost starts off the second line. we've got a green star highlighting the only burl, which is in bar 2, and a blue star highlighting the only D throw, which is in bar 2 of line 2. Everything else is doublings, lots and lots of gold stars highlighting doublings all around, especially early on in the tune. You've got a fairly dense amount of embellishments right up there at the front, so that's going to be the spot where we need to watch out for the most. All right, let's try it out.
All right, embellishment-wise, this tune starts off with a bang, but then it gets fairly straightforward. We've got this that A, B grip to C that you will find is fairly common in a lot of tunes, almost like a C throw, or if you're playing a heavy D throw, it should feel fairly natural. You've got a pause on that, and then you've got a run of eighth notes with 2 doublings crammed in there. 3 doublings if you count the next one. So make sure that D doubling gives people a lot of trouble early on. Because you're coming from E, you got a lot to do with your ring finger. Then the A burl. C doubling, E high A, and that is, if you're familiar with music theory, that's your arpeggio. Grip back to high A. And I actually played a grace note there that wasn't there. It's a F half doubling. And then an F full doubling. Line 2 starts with a high A doubling, a grip back to high A. And we've got a dotted high A followed by a short C. D throw right there. E doubling. And some people get in their heads a little bit with an E doubling from an F. Just don't overthink that. Grace note, second grace note. The shake, F, E, high A doubling, B doubling, and that's the tune. And when you finish that, and you're right back around to the beginning because the tune repeats. Cool. Next we'll look at the roadmap and try the whole tune.
Here's our phrase roadmap. This is another tune like the Rowan Tree, where the tune starts with a 1-beat pickup note, and every phrase includes a little bit of the previous bar. So every phrase mark off is kind of right there at beat 3 of the second bar. This tune has no real repeated phrases. In my opinion, the yellow phrase and the green phrase feel sort of similar to each other, but there's no real big repetitive chunks here. So this is just going to be a brute force memorization.
All right, as mentioned, the roadmap does not do us any favors. There is no really repeated music. It's just brute force memorization. But in my opinion, the tune's fairly catchy, and there's a lot that kind of feels similar, even if it isn't identical. So it shouldn't be too difficult to memorize. That being said, let's try it first at 60 beats a minute. So 60 beats a minute is always a good spot to start with for your short-term goals. If you can play everything at 60, you're doing okay. And then we'll play it again at 80. So first with 60, with that 1-beat intro, I'll give you 3 and we'll start on the pickup note. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Repeat. that's that. Playing it up at 80 beats a minute. And after 3 again. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Continue on with it a second time, but I'm going to save my breath. So that's the tune. Work up to that and you are almost there. Good job, guys.
Thanks for tuning in again, guys. Some final thoughts. Once again, it's all about just keeping everything we've learned in mind. You don't want to let any single skill slip. We're going to have to focus on having good grips, good D throws, good doublings, waiting on the beat for that burl, and of course, above all else, no crossing noises. Keep up the good work, guys, and as you memorize these tunes, try them out on your pipes and play them for your family or your friends or anybody who's willing to listen and aware that you're still learning them, because that's the way you get better. All right, take care.